There we go. Welcome everyone though to the first game in the best of 7 series between Villese and TheViper. I think we're probably going to be leaving the colors as they are over here. I think yellow and blue are going to be contrasting enough against each other that we are not going to need to change the colors. And there might be a little bit of contrasting issues with the minimap, but yeah, I'm just going to leave the colors until somebody... You know, if anybody's got any issues with the colors, you let me know and I can change it. Otherwise, if there are no complaints, I'm just going to leave it as it is. Taking a look at these civilizations then. Yeah. Villese is coming forward, already taking 2 goats from TheViper. That's actually... Wow, 4 goats actually. Nice. For the left-hand side then, Villese playing with Tatars is going to get first off 50% extra food. We are going to have from Herdables. We are going to have also free Parthen Tactics as well as free Thumb Ring. And then on top of that, Villese is also going to get 25% additional bonus damage when attacking from a higher elevation against enemy units, and 2 additional sheep underneath each newly built DC starting in the Castle Age onwards. For the team bonus on the other hand, we get 2 extra line of sight on Cavalry Archer units. And taking a look at Viper's civilization on the other hand, the Huns are going to begin with 200 population support already. They are going to get also 10 and 20% cheaper Cavalry Archer units in the Castle and Imperial Age, as well as, let's see, 50% accuracy on trebuchets as opposed to 15%. And then for the team bonus, well, we have, of course, for the team bonus for Hans 20% faster working stable. So 9 goats over here for Villese, and 50% additional food from these goats is going to make this so good for food income. Meanwhile, TheViper on the other hand is going for the first elephant, and he's run out of goats. Yeah, he's got nothing. He's got nothing left. He's gonna have to push the Huntables, because goats quite clearly are missing. Meanwhile, Villese is bringing the first elephant over here. He's got the second one over here as well, and it doesn't seem like he's going to get lamed at all. And check that out! Villese is going for the Huntables as well. He's going to push everything. So he's got a disgusting amount of goats. And he's pushing the Huntables over here, plus the elephants. That's going to result in an obscene amount of food over here for Mr. Villese. And oh boy, Viper's starting the series is going to be fairly rough. Let's go, especially if he wants to go for scouts, it's going to hurt so much. Let's go and take a look at the map generation starting with Mr. Villese. Both have great map generations, but specifically Villese, 2 goats remaining 9 on the southeast for Viper, right? Southeast for Viper? I don't think so. This is the stone, if that's what you were looking at in the minimap. But yeah, let's take a look at the map generation for Villese. First off, the blue player is going to have the main gold up north. It's going to be kind of on the back though. And then we have the secondary golds down south over here, with the main stone on the right hand side. And oh, northeast. I'm going to check in a moment, but I don't think so. I think that's just a straggler tree. Then the secondary stone is going to be on the left hand side up north, and he should be able to wall himself pretty well. If he goes for walls from here to the edge of the map, right, and connects like this, it's not going to be very expensive, and he will be able to secure a massive wool line over here, plus the berries as well, and the gold. So that'll be very nice for Villese, actually. Northeast for TheViper, well, he's not collected any extra goats, so if they are there, they should still be here. I don't think he... No. We have the Huntables, and... yeah, there's just a straggler tree over here. So yeah, anyway, taking a look at the map generation for TheViper. What do we get? We're gonna have the main gold right hand side, secondary golds on the left hand side for him, and he's got the main stone on the back with the secondary stone up north. So this is not the best map generation for TheViper, to be fair, but if he does manage to get these walls like this, he's still gonna be able to secure one wood line. It's not quite as good as Villese. You can see he's not gonna be securing the gold, he's not gonna be securing the berries necessarily, but he should still be able to secure wood line, which is going to be pretty important if both players are going to be thinking of going for like cavalry archers later on, in any case. Militia's coming in for TheViper. Alright, he knows about the villagers over here. And Villese should be in a pretty good spot. I mean, come on, man. Take a look! How many? We have still all 9 goats over here. And he's collecting from berries too. He's saving the goats for later. Man, just Villese's got so much. What can TheViper even do in this position? Well, if he finds a villager too, that's gonna be ideal, of course. Let me fix this real quick. But I don't know if it's going to be a possibility, honestly, even. Yeah, I think it's probably just the straggler trees or like the cacti, maybe, or something. I think over here these can kind of look like goats if you are kind of zoomed out, I guess. Yeah. Here are the militias from the Viper. Villese so far has been able to get the quick balls up on time. Yeah, good job. This is gonna be completely safe. We see an archer range coming up over here, and Villese is going to go for full archers. Meanwhile, the Viper, on the other hand, he's got no gold miners. He's going to make a switch right now, so it seems like he's gonna be thinking of going for archers, but not quite as early as Villese. Yep, and this is pretty good. You know, militias are not gonna be able to break through at all. Guys, I think we're probably gonna be switching to red for the Viper. It's kind of hard to see him in the min-map sometimes. Especially, and then even when the units are on screen, because of the yellow being very similar to this, it's very hard to tell the units apart. Yeah, we're gonna be switching colors. There we go. Hopefully that's a little bit more, you know, a little bit easier to tell apart for you as well. There's a fan. Can't pass him with these sheep. Here he comes. We see the archer range coming in for the Viper. He's got a blacksmith coming up right now as well. Alright. There we go. Yeah, I think this is going to be alright for the Viper. He should be able to hold on over here just fine. It's gonna be a little bit harder for him to potentially go up to the castle age though. Villese doesn't even need to go for farms. He still has so many sheep. And remember, with 50%... Oh no, he's taking another one! Very far from the TC. Remember, we get for Tatars 50% longer or extra food from herdables. So yeah. Gonna be collecting quite a bit. That's pretty good already. God, I cannot select the goat. Come on, let me do it. There you go. So it's pretty good. There we go. Yeah, if Villese can just hold on over here, his economy is going to be so much stronger. He should be the first one to go out to the castle age by a big margin. The Viper, he's got skirmishers over here, which are going to be food intensive, of course. He's got archers coming out right now. His food economy shouldn't be, you know, as cheap as Villese. Villese still does not need to go for a single farm. So yeah. I like the Hunts get plate bar than armor, even though they existed way before plate armor was invented. Well, yeah, I mean, we have champions for Aztecs, right? Arbalesters. Yeah, the third goat went down over there, but he still has a good amount. 1-1 villager going down over here for the Viper. That's going to be first blood for eco units. That's going to be the second villager going down right now. He's going right after the lumberjacks, and I think he might be able to get a third vill over here. He's got 4 archers to work with. He's going for it, and he's going to try to get it, and he got it! Keep some room in around as well. If we can find the villagers on gold over here, he's probably going to be able to get another one even before he gets cleaned up eventually. And then we have more units coming over here with scouts as well. Villese is coming after the Viper right away. And doesn't seem that the Viper will be able to clean this up right away. So, you know, Villese is getting away with it. If he can group the archers up and the scouts, then he's going to be in a much better spot. Scouts and archers, very, very hard to fight against in the field age. Second archer range, third archer range coming up for the Viper right now, so that he can get more archers out himself as well, but he's getting this one denied as well, and Villese is playing really well. You know, the prediction for Jordan was, I'm expecting the Viper to win 4-1, right? And game number 1 has gone so well for Villese. Like, most things that could have gone his way, went his way. Was able to get away with taking the sheep. Was able to get the first villager kills. He's managed to get 3 villagers from the Viper. Sure, he's got a little bit of extra idle TC time, but it's not going to compensate for the villagers that the Viper has lost. So even with wheelbarrow right now, you can see that Villese is only 1 villager behind as opposed to 3 villagers behind, and he's going to be most likely the first one to go out to the castle age as well. So yeah, a little bit of sloppy micro for Villese, yes, but he still ends up getting a better KD over here. And especially with the Eco KD, of course, it's pretty good. We have some farms coming out for Villese. He's gone for a bunch. He's got Horse Collar as well. Yeah, and there we go. Villese is gonna be on his way to the castle age very soon. There you are. The Viper, on the other hand, not even close, man. He's got a lot of archers coming out from 3 archer ranges. Seems like he's just gonna try to play this one for the fuel age. No. He's still saving resources to go up to the castle age. It's just that Villese is looking so much stronger. And a little bit sloppy over there for the Viper this time around. Running right into the archers and getting completely cleaned up. He's got only skirmishers left over here. The 1 archer over here going down finally to Villese's units. And well, 1 scout over here is probably going to be enough for him to take on the skirmishers, given the Viper's not targeting the scout whatsoever. So even with 2 HP, it's gonna suffice. And yeah, all of a sudden, military count significantly higher for Villese, who's going up to the castle age so much faster. But then archers over here is gonna be getting access to crossbows and Bodkin arrow in about a minute and a half, while the Viper is probably only gonna be able to click out to the castle age by the time Villese is 1 minute away from it. So that's going to be a close to 2-minute head start for Villese, and yeah, as a matter of fact, is actually going to be more than a 2-minute head start for Villese, which is remarkable already. No, only 1 minute and 30 seconds or so. 37 seconds. Still pretty good though. Still pretty juicy. If he can keep the units up over here, crossbow and Balkan arrow is going to be so good for him. He's got more archers coming out as well. Bloodline's on the way, yes. He's got the 1 stable over here, so of course. Only 1, meanwhile the Viper on the other hand is going for the 1 stable. And this is going to be just for bloodlines, but he's going to go for full cavalry archer. Villese, I feel like I would probably like knights better, because they're going to be like more... They're going to be immediately effective. So he could go for some knights over here, and with the crosses on the back, then he's gonna be able to prevent the Viper from getting to a good amount of cavalry archers. Yeah, he's going for crossman upgrade, and he's going for Bodkin arrow. But he's not going for much of anything, and this kind of makes me wonder if he's waiting until he sees what the Viper's going for before making a decision, because he's not going for more crossbows. Now he is. Yeah, and he's not going for knights, when I think he should have gone. The Viper, on the other hand, is still about 40 seconds away from the castle age. And here comes Villese. He's got a full HP scout, so he can just dive in, because the TC is gonna be targeting the unit, and that means he can get away with all the crosses over here. And wow, he loses a single crosses, and he completely disrupts the Viper's economy. How many villagers do we have on the right hand side for the Viper over here? He's got 24 villagers with 30% worker efficiency in the last minute, and all time very low actually. Yeah, with about 29% of walk-in or idle time, so yeah, no eco legend for sure. It's gonna be Viper's title over here, as Villese keeps on going for more units. It's gonna be going for skirmishers for the most part. The one thing that I'm not the biggest fan about for Villese is that he did not follow this up with much of anything. He's going for the second TC right now, but it's taking so long for him to get this one up, and he did not keep on reinforcing the units. If he kept on reinforcing, I'm pretty sure he would have been able to clean this up and potentially seal the game already, right away. But now the Viper, he might be able to stabilize, he might be able to start bouncing back, but yeah, of course, it's going to take some time. If he wants to go for cavalry archers, it's going to take forever for the Viper to even get a good amount of units out to push against Villese, so while Villese is going to get away with economy, I feel like he could already have taken this game. Good lane. Yeah. Imagine if he was sending units forward. Imagine if he had all the crosses, clean out these crosses from the Viper, and then he came for a forward tower over here. Then all of a sudden the Viper's completely out of resources. Yeah, he's going for skirmishers right now. I don't know what that's going to give him. University is already up. He's got ballistics. Good stuff. Yep, and the Viper's got skirmishers over here, so Villese won't be able to do any damage over here anymore. He's got a bail. Yeah, he gonna do it, so Viper should be able to clean this up, I think. Well, Viper doesn't have ballistics though, so with some good micro, Villese might be able to actually clean the units up from the Viper over here. Yeah, good job. Left hand side, we finally have some skirmishers coming out from Villese. He's gonna defend with. And he should be able to hold on just fine, but take a look! Viper's losing all the skirmishers! And Villese, well, he can keep on roaming around for sure. There you go. GG. Wow. He just calls it. Just as he starts making the switch and he gets to 12 cavalry archers, he just calls it GG. He had some cavalry archers coming over here as well. He was able to push Villese out on the left-hand side as well, but Villese was going to go for an extra TC just fine. And yeah, despite the Viper putting some pressure over here, and I think he might have been able to get some good damage done with these cavalry archers, he's just going to call it right there. I feel like it might have been a little bit early. I think he would have been able to clean this up, but yeah. It was definitely on the back foot, and by the looks of it, Villese was going to be able to defend himself just fine. So let's go and take a look at the achievements. So far, 1-0 in favor of Villese. I'm going to check what the predictions were like before. But yeah, checking the KD over here. It's about, what is this? It's about 11-4, if I'm not mistaken. No, not really. It's more like 14-5, right? 14-5, yeah. We take a look at Army High on the other hand. We get 26-24. For the economy, on the other hand, we also get, you know, a little bit of a stronger economy for Villese. Well, a little bit. It's over 1,000 extra resources. You know, 27 minutes into the game. That's a good amount of, that's a good chunk of extra resources. Faster uptimes as well. And overall, much better game for him as well. So yeah. Let's go back. And let's cross the civilizations out. We had Tatars, right? And we had Huns. So that's going to leave the Viper on Sicilians, Burgundians, Mayans, Teutons still, Mongols, Japanese, and Byzantines, while Villese got Franks, Vikings still, Khmer, Saracens, Magyars, Incas, and Vietnamese. Let's see. Yeah, Villese APM, pretty good. Keeping up with the Viper, just fine. Let me see if game number 2 is already coming up. And it was 19-5, by the way. I'm not really sure why I struggled so much for the ratio over there. But yeah. Let's take a look at the game. Yes, game number 2 is already here. So what were predictions looking like? You guys bet 85% on the Viper and 15% on Villese. So there's a lot of bones coming Villese supporters' way. And game number 2 is going to take a little bit of time still, about 40 seconds suspected late time to get through. The matchup though is going to be Japanese for the Viper versus Saracens. What is this? Is the Viper trying to save the stronger civilizations for later? Because it certainly seems like he's just burning through some civs over here. Like, Japanese are certainly not going to be the strongest civ he's got available. Villese, on the other hand, with Saracens, he's not going to be using the strongest civ he's got available himself either, though. So he's learned from game number 1. It's not going to be burning through it. Let me take a look to see what the win rate is for this matchup. Well, Japanese against Saracens have actually played only one match and they have lost it. So yeah, we have a 0% win rate for Japanese against Saracens. We'll see if that changes today. There we go. And welcome everyone then to game number 2. For Villese, we get with Saracens cheaper markets that trade resources for cheaper. On top of that, we also get for Saracens, you know, 10 extra HP on camel units. We're gonna have on top of that also for the team bonus 1, 2, and 3 bonus damage from archer units, foot archer units against buildings. On the left hand side though, for the Viper on the other hand, we're gonna be getting with Japanese. First off, we are going to have, oh boy, yeah, with Japanese 33% faster attacking infantry units starting in the fuel age. Oh, this is coming forward. I'm not really sure if he's gonna be able to find quite as many goats, but he's gonna try. Besides that, we also get for Japanese a 50% discount on drop-off buildings, and then the rest of the bonuses are for water maps. So I'm very curious to see if Villese will be able to get away with taking the goats over here, or if he's gonna try to go after the rhino maybe. Let's see. It's going down south. Doesn't exactly know where the Viper is. Man, the Viper's collecting the goats for the most part. So it doesn't seem like he's going to get lamed anymore. Yeah, he's found all the goats. And Villese only knows about the berries right now. So let's go and take a look at Villese's map generation, given we're not going to have any laming action early on. We have for Villese, first off, the main goal on the back. He's got a secondary goal on the back as well, but very far away on the right-hand side, while the other secondary goal is on the left-hand side. As for stone, we have the main stone on the left, secondary stone up north, and should be able to wall himself like this, just utilizing the wood lines. He should be able to secure himself just fine. Not gonna be securing any wood lines, but he will be able to secure the gold, and he will be able to secure also the berries over here. So let's take a look at Viper's map generation. For the red player over here then, we get the main goal on the back. It's got the secondary goal forward and the other secondary goal on the left hand side very far away, with the main stone down south and the secondary stone up north towards the left hand side. I think he should also be able to just connect the wood lines over here and secure himself up. Just going to be a little bit pricier on the right hand side for sure, but he would end up collecting or securing rather the stone over there. He would end up securing the gold over here as well. He would end up securing the berries as well. And depending on the way that he goes for walls, he might be able to even secure the majority of this wool line, which is going to be amazing, of course. Yeah, no lames coming out from anyone. As a matter of fact, Villese still has not found his own goats, and the Viper hasn't found them either, so yeah. Did Villese push huntables though? He didn't, so he needs to find the goats. Yeah, he'll do so now. He's got him. Man, if this was me, the goats would be here. Would be here, or they would be here or here. The one tile you don't scout, that's where the goats usually are. Are you Dutch as well, EK? Don't recall if you have said this before or not. But we do have some Dutch viewers, I'm pretty sure. Besides our base as well. Nice, nice. Obviously, they are somewhere you haven't scouted. Yeah, yeah. There you go. It's just very unfortunate if you scout like 99% of your base and they're in the 1% you haven't scouted. There we go. Village is coming out for Villese. Viper should be able to go up himself as well, but he's going to be going up on 21 population. It's going up on 20. And we're going to see scouts coming out for Villese. He's not going for gold, so it's quite clearly going to be scouts. And yeah, the Viper on the other hand's got the barracks already up. So it seems like it's going to be Minotaurs into archers for him, which is, of course, a no-brainer with Japanese. If you can go for militias, then turn those into Minotaurs. That's going to be so strong in the fuel age. Interestingly enough, Villese won't connect the dots with the wool lines, which means that these foragers could potentially still stay exposed. Let's see if he wall himself up to the edge of the map or not. Yeah, by the looks of it. Okay, not anymore. What is it going to go for? A house over here or something? It's going for gold. Okay, so we're gonna see archers coming out. Seems to be a change of plans. Did he scout the... No, but he kind of has to go for archers though, because if he goes for scouts alone, Minotaurs are going to be too strong for him to fight against that. Let's see. Alright, here he comes. A few H's here for both players, and we see no buildings whatsoever for Villese. Nah, he goes for the archer range. Yeah, I thought he was going to go for scouts. That seemed kind of risky against Minotaurs potentially, and you should be expecting Minotaurs from Japanese, so he's going for archers, which I like a lot better, but he's gonna be able to get the units out in time. Viper's gonna be going for his own archers as well, and he's about to finish building the archer range, so he's going to have archers coming forward very soon. As a matter of fact, Viper's archer range is coming up faster compared to Vilese's archer range. So yeah. This could be pretty bad. There you are. Yeah, Alcee is actually losing more HP than it's gaining by the villager repairing. So the moment we get the archer over here and pushes the villager away, then Villese is gonna have to keep on going for palaces in between the mill and the house over here just to stay safe. Okay, Viper's roaming around instead. Where are the archers though? He was waiting for the second one. Yeah, that makes sense. You probably don't want to send your archers alone like that, but I don't think there's a whole lot of Villese can do, can he? Well, he's got the scout over here. Viper realized about it. He doesn't have fletching though, so still the scout's going to be alright. But yeah, definitely would have liked for the Viper to try and ramp up pressure a little bit sooner. There we go. Yeah. And it seems like he's gonna start putting pressure up against the foragers once again. Now he's got archers and skirmishers over here, just waiting for fletching. Meanwhile, Villese on the other hand has got 3 archers, 2 skirmishers, so he should be able to hold on. It's just the Minotaurs that are going to be a big issue. Soaking damage from the skirmishers means that he'll be able to keep the archers alive. He's gonna be able to keep on pushing Villese away, potentially even taking villagers down if Villese is not careful. But yeah, extra archers coming in here as well. Skirmishers actually for the Viper. There we go. Yeah, pretty good pressure, but Villese should be able to hold on over here just fine. He is kind of stabilizing. With all the skirmishes he's got back home to defend himself with, it's very unlikely the Viper will be able to do too much damage. At most, you know, Viper is just going to keep his units alive, as Villese is not going to be able to take these down easily because of the Minotaurs. But yeah, it's unlikely the Viper's going to be able to do any damage. So now it's going to be a race to the castle age. Red player has gotten the walls up on the left-hand side and in front of his base, but the right-hand side is still pretty much open over here for sure. So yeah. There you are. We have a little bit of a feudal battle over here, a feudal skirmish with skirmishers. But it's unlikely anybody's really gonna be able to do any damage with whatever units they are going to have left after this engagement. So yeah, it's just going to be a race to the castle age, and Villese seems to be slightly ahead compared to the Viper. He's got a lot more food and he already has enough gold to click up. We have the same amount of food workers for both players, and the Viper kept on going for more skirmishers, man. Is he gonna be able to clean the units up from Villese over here? He might be able to, but he's gonna be significantly later to the castle age if he keeps on going for more food units. Villese should be able to click up very soon. Is he going to go for wheelbarrow? I feel like he's gotta go for wheelbarrow. Let's check. Yeah, Castle Age is coming up right away, so Villese is not going for wheelbarrow whatsoever. Well, it's fine. The Viper, if he wants to go up to the Castle Age, it's going to take significantly longer, so he should still be in a... Villese should still be in a pretty good spot. Good unit control over here, good reaction time as well for Villese, well played. Yeah. And now with the hill advantage over here, it's going to push the Viper out. So for the red player, we have about 7 skirmishers left over here and 2 archers, right? Meanwhile, Villese on the other hand has got 6 skirmishers and he's got a bunch more archers. Now he's got the 7th skirmisher out. And he's got more archers. So on paper, Villese should be able to take the engagement over here and come out on top. Wheelbarrow on the way for the Vipers. Probably going to be thinking of going out to the Castle Age afterwards. But yeah, Villese very soon is going to be getting access to elite skirmishers, Botkin arrow, you know. He's sending the archers forward right away, so I think he's going to try to strike with these, and he's going to try to play defensive with the skirmishers. Yeah, numbers looking a little bit better for Villese still. Good job. Yeah, and he's just camping the hill. Meanwhile, the Vipers got the archers on the right hand side, pushing Villese away from gold. This is huge. Yeah. Unlikely Villese is gonna be able to do too much damage over here anymore. He ends up losing the archer. Why is he sending the villagers back to gold? When all the archers from the Viper are still here and he's got no defense whatsoever. I have no idea, but now the Castle Age is over here and it seems like he's just gonna try to keep the Viper interested. Is he trying to use the villagers? Is he using the villagers as decoy? Kinda seems like it from time to time, but the thing is, his units are out of position, so he cannot really clean these units up at all. On the left hand side, we see the archers about to become crossbows for Villese. No, he's not going for the crossman upgrade at all. He's just going for Botkin arrow and the Viper preemptively. Well, he just removed all the villagers from here, I think, earlier. Yeah, it's just gonna be taking wood from down south. So yeah. There you go. It's coming in. Crossman upgrade's gonna be here in a moment, but he's got only 4 archers. This feels very wasteful from Villese. Like, there is no way in the world he was gonna be able to do any damage with these units when the Viper has had ages to go for skirmishers. This is not a good push from Villese whatsoever. He was just trying to get some damage to be proactive, roam around, but he ended up getting clapped. So and the Viper's gonna be in the Castle Age in about 30 seconds, and Villese has got a good amount of units, don't get me wrong, but they are completely out of position. He's got skirmishers over here attacking a barracks in very small amounts. We have some archers coming forward over here after he already lost half his army forward, and then a very, very small amount of HP on these archers left anyway. And the Viper gets there, so with a larger amount of military, Viper's upgrades are going to come in a lot deadlier compared to Villese's. Let's see though. Yeah, that should be the case. Viper's got 2 very large group of units to work with that he's about to rejoin right now. He's about to regroup. Good job, yeah. I would like for the Viper to go for university so he can get ballistics. They're both fighting with archers, so ballistics is going to come in quite clutch. And you can see Villese got it already, the Viper doesn't. And the Viper doesn't even have a university on the way. Okay, there we go. Now he's going for the university. Yeah, and Villese is unlikely to do too much damage over here. So what is the plan? So far, both players have stuck to 1 TC each. We do have a lot of idle TC time for the Viper, a lot more compared to Villese anyway. He does have more military units though, but the Viper, but Villese, sorry, is quite quickly catching up in military count, and he just keeps on trying to put pressure up. As now the Viper has regrouped his army for the most part, it's significantly harder for him to keep on defending himself, so we can see one villager going down over here to Villese's crossbows from the Viper. And yeah, we see another group of units moving forward from Villese. Meanwhile, the Viper is going to be the one putting pressure forward very soon himself. And let's see if he's going to be able to get a villager down. He's about 10 seconds away from finishing research and ballistics. And Villese's reaction time over there was instantaneous. Good job. Left hand side. Well, not much for Ville. Nice snipe over here for the Viper though. Hey, Hovercraft. Hi. How's it going? 3 villages down though from Villese to the Viper's units. Meanwhile, Villese over here is trying to get the pressure going himself again. He's been able to get the gate down. He's going around. Because he's got so many skirmishers over here, could potentially even dive in without worrying about the TC too much. Let's see. It seems like he's gonna try and do it. Yes. Viper garrisons right away. But Villese just comes in anyway. And the Viper is getting completely pushed away from here. The quick wall's coming out, but is it going to be on time? Well, it's not a whole lot of HP left on this one, and he's going to get pushed away from it. So it seems like Villese should be able to clean this up. However, Viper's got skirmishers over here to clean the units from Villese up. As Villese was not paying attention over here, is going to end up losing all the units, although he was able to get 2 villages from the Viper. So far, KOTD is a little bit better for the Viper still. Let's see if he's paying attention over here. It seems like he's not, so that's a great shot. 2 amazing shots from the Mountain Hills. And over here, well, Villese doesn't end up getting cleaned up, but he takes 2 additional villagers. KOTD is still looking better for the Viper, though. He's got a second group of units on the left-hand side, so he's putting pressure up north and he's putting pressure down south. Might end up getting cleaned up, though, in the end, but still has been a good amount of damage already, so it's been worth it. Played. How was Jordan Tattoo series worth watching? Oh boy. I would be lying if I say it's not worth watching, because it was an incredible series. It was an amazing series. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you watch it. Of course, you can watch the VOD, or you can just wait for me to split the series up individually for the KOTD playlist. There we go. Yeah, good job. So far, a whole lot of extra military for the Viper though. Population significantly higher as well. Second TC is up for Villese, but the Vipers have the second TC up as well. So yeah, it doesn't seem like Villese is gonna be able to catch up for villager count anyway. For military, well, the Viper can keep on putting pressure with Siege over here. If he can start putting pressure with Siege, actually, he should be able to hold on even against Villese's Mountain and potentially go after the TCs later. We'll see. Knights from the Viper, no scale bar than armor, so these knights are not particularly strong, and it seems like that was a great shot though, but it seems like he's going to end up losing the Magnus anyway. We're gonna be left on only 1 for Villese. Based on your impression, I won't be able to wait. Okay. I very much recommend you go and watch the VOD. Indeed, yes. Probably after the series is over. Because that was incredible, man. KOTD4 so far has been nothing but excellence. We have had amazing upsets. We have had amazing full series. In remarkable games sometimes. Very long games, sometimes very short games. But quality has certainly not been missing for KOTD, so I'm overall pretty happy to be able to cover this one. You know, it kind of sets the bar very high for my own tournaments as well, because you certainly don't want your own tournaments to be any less interesting than the ones you cast on your channel, but it's going to be tough, you know, the settings over here for KOTD really, you know, push the players to their limits. we have had the same 3 or 4 strategies repeated over and over. Yeah, a little bit, but the level of execution has been completely off the charts. I think we are probably not seeing quite as high level Age of Empires. Or Arabia Age of Empires, or Arabia Age of Empires rather, in a long time. Yeah, execution has been excellent. So gameplay, you know, level has been fantastic. Good job. Well, now the village account's actually higher for the Viper. He managed to get the third TC up a little bit sooner compared to Villese, so he's still on higher villager count, and military count significantly higher for the Viper as well. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see him go up to the Imperial Age very soon as well. He's got a lot more food workers compared to Villese as well, and Villese on 3 TCs, well, won't be able to keep production going with only 11 food workers, so 12 food workers, so yeah. Let's see. Magnet going down, not yet. I remember 2 Pools Cup, there was only 1 strategy over and over. This tournament is better in that aspect, in my opinion. Right. Yeah. I don't remember if I covered 2 pools. I don't think so. I don't remember, but yeah, it certainly makes you think. For my own tournaments, there are 2 coming up next year. The first one's going to be Hidden Gems, which is a tournament for players of high skill but not top tier players. Right? So probably like 2K1 players up to 2K2, something like that. With hidden identity, so kind of like Hidden Cup in that sense. It's also why we're going to be calling it Hidden Gems, and that's going to be pretty good because you're going to see a lot of gameplay from players that you do not really see getting the spotlight very often, rather. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be a fantastic one. Then there's going to be a tournament open to all skill levels, which is probably going to end up being dominated by the top players, which is going to be Tiny Madness. But yeah, both of those are coming up next year. I need to figure out a way to make it, to try and increase the chances of them being as exciting, because, you know, the standard over here is, it's pretty high. Alright. Villese abusing the market heavily. What is this for though? He already had the castle coming up. I think it was just probably floating a little bit of stone, probably floating a little bit of food. Just needed something to go, but yeah, the Viper's still looking much stronger. There we go, he's going right after the Magnals, and even against the conversions, he's going to come out on top. The Magnals are going down, 2 knights left over here, 2 Magnals left over there for Villese, but the Viper's got a good amount of crossbow still. Now, take a look at the economy, and Villese seems like he's gonna be able to go up to the Imperial Age even sooner compared to the Viper, which is remarkable. He's been adding a lot of extra farms, or rather he's been able to go back at work rather. And yeah, he's gonna be the first one to go up to the Imperial Age. While the Viper is getting very close. He's got a lot of gold. If he had a market, and I think he's probably gonna be going for a market. He already has a market. He should be able to go up to the Imperial Age already, but it seems like he's not gonna want to use it. Instead, just gonna try to go up organically. This is very interesting because the Viper could have gone up sooner if he had used the market. Instead, he chose to preserve the value of his resources by going up with actual collection. But then he goes on and sells a lot of resources, so then all my theory goes down the gutter. I thought for a moment the Viper was just trying to maximize the value of his resources, then just goes and tanks everything in the market. Anyway, that would have been a very Viper thing to do, by the way. Just hold on to the resources and redistribute his economy instead. But yeah. There we go. Good job. That's a lot of villages going down from Villese over here. Completely exposed though. Kind of surprising that he did not have any defense over there whatsoever. More villages going down for sure. So far 21-7 Eco KD, 3-to-1 ratio in favor of the Viper. Amazing stuff. I mean, this is coming forward himself, so he might be able to find these villagers from the Viper who are also going to be kind of exposed. No mana is coming out from the Viper over here whatsoever, but Villese respecting the Siege Workshop. Yeah, he's just going to go back. Alright. Good job. Villese cleans the units up over here and he gets to the Imperial Age. Meanwhile, the Viper is still about 10 seconds away from the Imperial Age, but you can get a glimpse of what his strategy is going to be. He's going for light cavalry. Imperial Age is here, so what are we going to see? Let's get a good amount of archers over here, but upgrading these to crossbows, or to arbalests rather, I don't think it's gonna be worth it. It's just going for the bracer upgrade. The majority of his crossbows are on the left hand side, so he should still be going for arbalesters, yes. It's just not gonna be worth for these alone. I love it though that he kept the archers alive and he's just been hiding in the corner, so now he's gonna be able to go around and keep on striking again. And these villagers are going to be super exposed. Villese, yeah, it's probably not expecting the Viper to still be around here. So this is going to be so good for the red player. No bowl, yeah, no bowls, so no heavy plow for Villese just yet. That's pretty bad. It's going for chemistry right now. Wait a moment. The Viper knows about the villagers. I think he's gonna try to bait Villese into paying attention over here before striking so that he can try and get as many villagers down as possible. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. He's trying to chase the villagers away, and now he's gonna be striking here, but Villese is paying attention, guys! Still some villagers will perish over here for sure from the blue player, but at the very least, he was able to prevent taking massive losses. Wow, that's still gonna be GG though! Well played! The Vipers getting the first game for him over here in game number 2. That's going to be the first point for him, rather. In game number 2, and equalizing the series. This is going to guarantee a 5 games long series at the very least. Let's go and take a look at the achievements. Guys, yesterday, by this time, we were already done with both series. Today is looking so much more compelling. Taking a look at military then, we have a stronger KD for the Viper of close to 5 to 4. Meanwhile, for Army High, 47 to 34 as well. Economy, on the other hand, we have a stronger economy for the Viper, collecting over 6,000 extra resources, and for technology, faster feudal, castle, imperial science for Villese. That's about it. Let's go back. Very, very close APM over here for both players. Crossing the civilizations out over here then, Japanese and Saracens. Yeah, now Villese still has a good amount of strong civilizations to play with, and the Viper, on the other hand, well, the Viper still has a good amount of civilizations to play with himself. Let me check if game number 3 is here. As a matter of fact, I would argue that Viper's remaining civs are stronger even. I think he's just been trying to burn through the weaker civilizations first, and I mean, like, he's got Teutons left, he's got Byzantines, he's got, you know, Burgundians, Sicilians, Mayans still, and Mongols. I'm very curious if we are ever going to see anybody use the Mongols the same way that we saw Hera use Mongols before. Because that was so smooth. Let's take a look at game number 3. There's probably a little bit of a, spec delay time, about 1 minute. So, I'll tell you what, I'm going to the bathroom real quick, and I'm going right back, and I'm coming right back. It's going to be Mongols versus Khmer, guys, so 1 second, and I'll see you in a bit. Alright, guys, I'm back. And let's jump into the game, shall we? There we are. So yeah, once again, we're going to be using red for the Viper, so it's a little bit easier to tell us that the players are powered, rather. And we are only 50 seconds into the game. Let me start predictions for game number 3. I completely forgot to do that for game number 2, so... yeah, who wins game number 3? You have 5 minutes to guess, guys. We have Mongols for the Viper versus Villese, who's going to be playing with Khmer. Yeah. Okay. Oh! Villese is trying to get the lane going over here, but the Viper's going to be able to keep the goats for himself. Good job. Okay. Wow, this is just... is the Viper? The Viper is trying to get the goats back. I think Villese is taking these from the Viper, actually. Yeah. So the Viper loses these goats. It's gonna be so much better for Villese. Villese is going after the goats now, once again. Yeah, he's going to go for the goat. He's not going for the... he keeps on... I don't get it. Why? If these are... I do not know whose goats these are. But Villese is taking it down, so it seems to me like these were the Viper originally. Yeah, I think so, because the Viper's got no goats left over here. He's got 4, that's going to be 5. Meanwhile, oh no, those were Villese's actually. No. Villese's got 5 over here as well. What? Whose goats were those? I'm actually not really sure. Well, regardless... let's talk about the civilizations real quick. For Villese, of course, with Khmer, he's gonna be getting faster elephants. He's gonna have also the ability to gather some villages inside houses, as well as fantastic farmers. They do not need to drop food, and on top of that, we're gonna have for Khmer also no building requirements, with the team bonus being extra range on Scorpion units. The Viper, on the other hand, he gets faster working hunters. Gets also extra HP on light cavalry, Hussar and step lancet line units, as well as faster attacking cavalry archers, and for the team bonus, extra line of sight on scouts. Let's go and take a look at the map generation for each player, starting with the Villese over here, the blue player. Let's get the main goal in the back already, so that's pretty good. Main stone in the back, secondary goals forward on the left and right hand sides, and the secondary stone is on the left hand side. I think, yeah, it's probably just gonna be going for walls from here towards the TC, and this is a very open map. If he ends up going for walls like this, he will not really be able to protect any wood lines. He will be able to secure, of course, the gold and the stone over here, but the berries are going to be exposed. And yeah, it's a very rough map generation for Villese. I think we're probably just going to see individual resources coming up around resources. Taking a look at the Viper's base on the other hand. Well, Viper is on paper also as open as Villese, but he's going to get rewarded much more so by getting the walls over here up, as pricey as they might be, with a lot of safe wood over here on the back. He's got the main goal on the back as well, secondary stone on the right hand side, right? And then he will be able to protect the berries as well. So yeah, I'm liking Viper's TC location a little bit better. Like being close to the corner of the map over here is going to make it a little bit better for him to secure his resources. A little bit easier for him to secure more resources, but we'll see if he goes for it. Anyway, Villese Scout's got very little HP left, and the Viper is going to be in the fuel age very soon. So what Villese is doing right now is he's just trying to get some scouting information, right? So yeah, it seems to me like he got some goats over here. Oh, and now the Viper is actually going to realize about his missing goats because of Villese. Good job. Yeah, and Villese. Very well played over there from the Viper. He's just making sure he gets away from the goats the moment Villese starts getting closer to them, so that Villese does not take them down. So they do not remain under Viper's control. That was really good for the Viper. But yeah, anyway. After the fuel H hits over here for the Viper, Villese Scout is going to go down for sure, guaranteed. The Viper doesn't need to go for any shenanigans over here. Yeah, there we go. Stable on the way, Villese got a glimpse of 2 villages moving over to the left hand side, and he had no idea where the Viper was, or if there was a barracks at all. He just saw 2 villages moving over here. For all he knew, those could have been going after the scout, but it's quite clear to me. I think Villese probably knows about the stable coming up. What is the plan over here for the blue player then? Well, he's going to be in the village in about 15 seconds, and he's not going for gold whatsoever. So it's going to be just scouts for him as well. Nobody's betting on the Viper. Wow. I'll give you some information. There we go. Good job. Just at the very least was able to clean up or to take the Viper Scout. I'll give you some information in regards to the win rate for this particular matchup. So, taking a look at Khmer against Mongol specifically, they have played twice and they have won twice. So, Khmer against Mongols, they have a win rate of 100% before this game. Is that going to be reduced to 66%? We'll see. The Viper's the one putting pressure up right now, and he's got 2 scouts coming out already. He did not go up anywhere near as fast as they could have. But yeah, he's coming in here. He's got the scout, full HP as well, preventing the walls coming up from Villese. And Vilese's got 7 villagers over here with only 1 house, so he cannot garrison them all. If he tries to garrison, he's still going to have 2 left outside. And we see the 3rd scout's coming in over here from the Viper. Meanwhile, Vilese's got only 1 scout to defend himself with, and Villese is still trying to get the quick walls coming up, and he'll be able to get away with it. Good job. Viper was very close from being able to get a village down over there, but good defense for Villese. 2 scouts right now compared to 4 scouts for the Viper. Trying to come in, not gonna be able to. So yeah, it seems like this is just going to be a race to the Castle Age again. Once again, I would really like for the Viper to go for 1 or 2 spearmen, right? He's got 1 spearman already. He's going to be protecting these hunters. He's sending them forward, but I would like for him to go for 1 spearman and just try to wall to the edge of the map. Here and up here to the edge of the map, he's going to be securing both these woolens in the back, which is so good. Let's see. Good job. There's a spearman coming out right now for the Viper. Coming forward. Is he gonna be able to though? Let's see. Get to the wool lane again. It's open! Villese is open again, and now he's going to end up losing a villager for sure. Make that 2 villages. Wow, this could very well be 3 villages, or even more than that going down, but the Viper's not going to keep on fighting anymore. It's still open! There is always a hole. Yeah, he's going for it. Good job. He's going to try and soak damage with the spearman, but still, he can take another villager down. So far, 3-0 KOTD in favor of the Viper. He's bringing more scouts out, and that's gotta be GG. Like, instant GG for Villese over there. Less than 14 minutes into the game. Viper's gonna be able to take this one with scouts, and that's going to mark the first time the Khmer lose against Mongols. It's going to reduce, you know, Khmer's win rate against Mongols to 66% only, but that was really well executed from the Viper. To be completely honest, I think he might have been able to start getting villages from earlier, when he was originally starting to deny the walls from Villese, but yeah, he was still able to get away with it though in any case. For military then, we're going to have a KD of 2-1 in favor of the Viper. We have an army high of 8-6 in favor of the Viper as well. And for economy, a stronger economy for him with about 100, with about 257 extra resources. For technology, on the other hand, well, we have a faster village time by quite a bit. And it wasn't even as fast as the Viper could have gone, honestly. So yeah, well played. Let's go back. Take a look at the remaining civilizations. We're gonna have so what did we see over here? We saw Mongols and we saw Khmer. For game number 3 onwards then, we still have very strong civilizations left for the Viper. It still has Teutons, which is very good on Viper's hand. 100% win rate, as the Viper is the only player who's been going for Teutons at all, and One game the Vipers play, one game the Vipers won. He's got Sicilians, got Burgundians, as well as Byzantines and Mayans. I would say all the civilizations left for the Viper are incredible. Villese, on the other hand, well, he's got Franks, he's got Incas. He's got some very peculiar civilizations over here, but I don't feel like they are quite as strong. I don't feel like they pack quite a punch as Vipers, personally anyway. Hey Zlati, welcome back. Let's see. I don't think anybody was betting for the Viper this time around, so I don't think there is a whole lot in terms of predictions to pay off. Yeah. For game number 4 then, what do we get? Let me see if the game is already here. Yes, game is here. We're probably gonna have to wait through some spec delay though still. Wow, we are starting to see strong civilizations. Of course, the Viper's got only strong civilizations left, but Villese is pulling the big guns. We have Burgundians for the Viper versus Franks from Villese. This can be so strong. I think I'm liking Burgundians over here a little bit better though, even for the Viper. We'll see. Let me check the win rate over here. For Burgundians against Franks, they have... it's the first time that they are going to be facing each other, so... yeah. Let's move over. Oops. And there we are. So for game number 4 rather, we are going to have for Villese 20% extra HP on cavalry units starting in the Feudal Legion Wars. It's going to have also 25% cheaper castles, as well as 15% faster working foragers. And on top of that, of course, we get for Franks free farm upgrades, which is pretty strong. And for the team bonus, 2 extra line of sight on 9 line units. Now, the Viper, on the other hand, with Burgundians, is going to have an incredible civilization. Not only does he get access to eco upgrades 1H earlier compared to other civilizations, right? But then he also gets them for a 50% food discount, which is amazing. On top of that, Burgundians will also get access to the Cavalier upgrade. He gets a 50% in the Castle Age, sorry. He gets a 50% discount on stable upgrades, as well as 25% higher attack on Gunpowder units. I think the Viper's lame in these goats, so yeah, that's already pretty good for him as well. What about overall win ratio for a Civ? Can we see that? Yes! If you want to get access to the spreadsheet that I'm using for this information, you can do ! Spreadsheet. If you give me a minute, I'm going to let you know, but I just wanted to make sure that I'm not missing out on anything over here, right? So it seems like there's nothing else happening. So for Franks, we have a win rate of 43% out of... wow, out of a lot of games. Actually, they played 37 games. And Burgundians, on the other hand, they have played 16 games and they have a win rate of 50%. So yeah. I finished the previous bet, yes. I think you were the only one betting on the Viper, Villese. Nobody was betting on the Viper, and now it's open again. I might have forgotten to change the title of the bet, but it's definitely... should definitely be open anyway. I think so, right? Oh no, I didn't start the prediction. You're correct. My bad. Who wins game number 4 then? There you go, guys. You have 5 minutes. My bad. Sorry. You were correct. Yeah. Let's go and take a look at the map generation then, now that we have talked about bold civilizations. The one thing that I did not mention about Burgundian, so I mentioned eco upgrades, I mentioned access to Cavalier, I mentioned the discount on scout, on stable units, or stable upgrades rather. And also the extra attack and gunpowder units, right? The one thing that I did not mention for Burgundians is the team bonus, which is the fact that they get food income from relics and top gold income. So there's that. Let's take a look at the map generation then, starting with Mr. Villese. So for the bull player, first off, we're going to have the main goal on the right-hand side. It's got the secondary goal on the right-hand side, as well as the secondary goal on the left-hand side. Both of these secondary resources up north. While the main stone is forward, and the secondary stone is forward on the right-hand side as well. This is really bad. Or more to the side rather than forward, but this is really bad. If he goes for walls maybe from here to the TC, it's just going to be so pricey. And it's not really going to be protecting much of anything, to be honest. So, I'm not the biggest fan of Vilese's map generation, to be completely honest. Yeah, even if he connected the wall to the edge of the map, he wouldn't be able to secure a backwood lane whatsoever. Okay, Villese is getting some goats over here, so he's going to be getting these back as after the Viper lane 2. I think that's going to be a payback. Although the Viper's going after the goats right away, and he's going to find these by the looks of it. Not quite. Wow. Let's see. Why didn't I get my bones back? There were only bets for Villese. Nobody bet on the Viper for the previous game. But yeah, you should have gotten your points back because nobody's getting them anyway. Yeah, you should have gotten the points back. If that's not the case, then I'm not really sure what the reason for that would be. Well, regardless, let's take a look at the map generation for the Viper. So he's got the main goal forward. And then we have on the right-hand side, secondary goal over here on the left-hand side, both of these on the back, and then the main stone on the back with the secondary stone on the left-hand side. Well, Viper's super open. The TC is in the middle of nowhere. But if he gets the walls up like this, and then from here to here, he's gonna be securing so much though, but oh boy. Let's see. If someone bets without bones, they get the bones if no one else does. Did anyone bet on the Viper? Because I thought nobody did. But that doesn't seem like you would be able to do it because the only people who can bet with no bones are people who are not allowed to bet online on their country. So I don't see how them getting the bones makes any sense. If that's the case, then it's probably a bug on Twitch's part because that shouldn't be happening. Yeah, that seems unfair for sure. You should be betting at the very least 10. You did receive some bones the other day. Wow, okay. That is so awkward. So, in your country, you're not allowed to put money at stake, but you can still get rewarded for free. I think that's probably a bug from Twitch. Yeah, that shouldn't be happening. Okay, so next time, I'm just going to return the points instead. I thought they returned out automatically, so my bad. Alright. Same army for both players. 2 scouts, 1 spearman. And yeah, Viper is already on Bo7, he's already on Heavy Plow, which is amazing, of course. The thing is, Burgundian's economy is incredible, so even though Villese is going to be saving resources, since he does not need to go for Horse Scholar, for Heavy Plow, for crop rotation, you know, they still need to pay for Double Pickaxe. He's not gone for it. Meanwhile, the Viper has invested a lot of resources into stronger eco upgrades, but those are going to be paying off very, very soon. Right now, the villager count is about the same for both players, and the idle TC time is about the same. We only have 9 extra seconds for the Viper, which is not going to amount to a villager even. And I want to take a look at eco over here real quick and see, because the Viper's got right now 200 extra resources, right? He's collected. Later on, when we get to the Castle Age, for instance, and Villese actually manages to go for Heavy Plow, or gets Heavy Plow for free and manages to go for Bo7, I'm going to check to see who's collected the most resources and by how much. It should be the Viper, and it should be by a much larger margin than he's been able to collect by right now. Let's see. Why is it even prohibited to bet with wordless internet points? I guess not to encourage gambling, so that people who might be prone to gambling do not get encouraged to do it even if it's for free, so that they don't go to an online casino or something, right? Somebody was saying the other day on stream, like, you know, for some people, you're just a few clicks away from actually betting online if you have that type of personality. So they are trying to prevent that, I guess. Let's see. There we go. Is Viper attacking with spears? We're gonna take a look at that in a moment. Scouts over here might be able to get a villager down. Let's see. Good job. No. He's got a lot of spear, but they are going to be defending for the most part. They only 4 units for the Viper spear, yes, but he's not been able to do anything with them. He's just sending them back. Maybe it can lead to using channel points as alt currency. I don't know. The thing is, you cannot really buy channel points. You can only earn them by watching the stream. You get more channel points if you're a sub, but like you cannot directly buy them. For stream elements, for instance, the Novlins, you can buy them. If you tip, or if you sub, or if you cheer, you get points. That is not possible with channel points. Well, so far, Villese has been unable to do too much damage, and it seems like both players are going to be getting very close to going up to the castle age. Viper's just missing the buildings, so he's going for an archer range right now, and we're probably going to see a blacksmith coming up. Meanwhile, Villese, on the other hand, he's got already the stable in the archer range. He's got a blacksmith on top of that as well. He just finished building. So, he should be able to click out to the castle age as soon as he gets the resources. The Viper, on the other hand, he's got only 1 out of 2. He needs to go for a blacksmith or a market or something, so he can go up himself as well. Let's see. Alright, blacksmith's coming in. Wow, the Viper! Going for the blacksmith with 10 freaking villagers. This is going to kind of serve as a quick wall as well, to try and, you know, divert these units towards the DC a little bit, but and potentially make it easier for him to defend with the spearman. But he did not have the resource to go up just yet, so I feel a little bit rushed. Let's see. There you are. Castle Age is coming up for Villese significantly faster compared to the Viper. And the Viper's going up. Now, red players got Wheelbarrow. And he's going up on only 2 less villagers. With the head start we have for Villese over here, that kind of checks out. Yeah, the other distance actually being a little bit higher for the Viper, so yeah, he's a little bit behind. He's probably going to be behind by like 4 villagers by the time he gets to the castle age, but I'm very curious about this. After this, if this engagement takes place, after it happens, we're going to take a look at the resources once again. So far, we can see the the gather economy percentage though. Looking significantly higher for Villese. So he has spent more time collecting resources with his villagers. Yeah, compared to the Viper. It's got on this idle economy as well. Doesn't seem like the engagement is going to happen at all, so let's go and take a look at the resources. Especially now that we finally have Horse Scholar over here for... Sorry, a Dull Bit Axe for Villese. Now he's got also Heavy Plow. Actually, we're gonna wait a second. If he goes for Bolso, then we can wait and then we can see how many extra resources the Viper's been able to collect because of the extra upgrades. Last time we checked, he was able to get ahead by about 200 resources. We'll see. Well, to be completely fair, Villese will probably have to go for Wheelbarrow as well, so I think we're probably just going to be taking a look at this as opposed to waiting forever for him to get the upgrades. Let's check. It's been better for Villese. It's been better for Villese because of the gathering time. So point boys for the neck. Yeah. He's not turning these into pikemen just yet though. Instead he's going for the second and third TCs. Well, this is how you want to play with Burgundians, but this is also kind of how you want to play with Franks as well. You know? Both civilizations are going to be going for economy. They're going to have fantastic late games. As long as you have access to gold, but I can't help but feel like it's better for Burgundians because of the possibility of Flemish Revolution. You do not need to play for Flemish Revolution right away, but if you just play standard, once you get to 140, 150 villagers and you get a good amount of food, you can go for it. And it's not really going to hurt you, because if you get extra TC sap and a good amount of food before you research it, you're going to be able to bounce back right away. All of this while going up to 200 military, right? So yeah, it still feels like such an awkward technology. A lot of crosses over here. A big chunk of Viper's economy is completely idle though. Meanwhile, he was trying to do the same to Villese over here, but it's not being possible. Villese is idling a little bit of his economy, but it's not being quite as effective. And not for quite as long as Villese's push over here. Let's take a look at this once again. Yeah. Gathered economy, you know. Much better for Villese still. Getting close to 1 hour. He's got 50 minutes of extra gathering time under his belt. For worker efficiency, on the other hand, it's been better for Villese in the last minute as well, which is remarkable. And yeah, Viper, he's got Cavalier right now, so that's gonna be good for him. Of course, with Cavalier, we have... Yeah, the moment you say something like that, Zlotty, usually it always changes. And now it's going to be 1-0 in favor of the Viper. But yeah. Anyway, with the Cavalier over here, basically Villese is paying, or the Viper, sorry, is paying 300 resources because of the 50% discount. For 3 upgrades worth of, you know, boosts. He gets extra HP. He gets extra attack as if he had Forging and Iron Casting. And then he can go for Forging and Iron Casting on top of that to go out to 14 attack. So that makes these units super strong. Even stronger than the Frank, you know, Knights, for sure. So let's see. Viper's going forward once again. Good amount of spearmen over here. Still though, needs the pikeman upgrade. He's not going for it just yet. His economy is still not quite as good as Villese's. There we go. 3 villages going down. That's finally some good damage from the Viper. But now what is he going to do against this? With all the crossbows Villese's got over here to work with, it's going to be able to take on spearmen, no problem. Not even pikemen still. And yeah, these knights might be enough for him to start doing some good damage. So we'll see. Viper's got some monks coming out, so he's going to try to get the conversion. So far, he's been unable to get a single one, so he's going to push Villese away. Meanwhile, down south, the Cavalier keep on roaming around. He ended up losing one to a conversion from Villese, though. Good job from the blue player. Yeah. And economy, still stronger for Villese. You know, which is remarkable at this stage. And the Viper still behind by 4 villagers. Now, because of Wheelbarrow, it's going to be more like behind by 1 villager only. Yeah, we'll see. There we are. Extra TC coming up for Villese. That's going to be the 4th one for him. The Viper already on 4 TCs. Still behind though. Still behind by about 8 villagers. With Barrow coming in for Villese finally. No Bo7 just yet. Yeah, and some villagers going down. The conversion's coming up and he got another conversion. Good job. And the crossbows kind of hindering the knight's mobility. You can just decouple them. You can just split them apart. They can go their separate ways. Sanctity is coming in right now for Villese as well, so these monks are going to be a little bit stronger. Viper's collecting some relics. He's going to collect the first relic over here, while Villese has already been able to collect 3 relics so far, so that's much better for Villese. There's a 5th relic up for grabbing over here. I'm not really sure who's got vision on this one, actually. Certainly not. Yeah, certainly not, Villese, for sure. Yeah, and the Viper doesn't know about it either. Good pressure. 1 villager going down. Yeah, and the conversion coming out for the Viper, so he's able to get the Knight back over there. He's gonna be able to get the Knight from Villese. As Villese is chasing these units away from the Viper is going to keep on running away because he's, you know, severely outnumbered. But now with the Monk and the extra units coming out, he's gonna try to go for it once again. He's going after the Cavalier right away as well. Notice the unit that he's specifically choosing to try and convert back. A good amount of Spearmen over here as well, and the Monks are going back. Nice. Finally, all the armies are going to start converging close to the center. There you go. Yes, and all the units are going down from Villese over here. It's got a good amount of Cavaliers still, actually Knights to play with. But I think this is going so much better for the Viper, isn't it? Well, he's got more units. Vilese's got more units over here. But the Spearmen coming in from the Viper will end up turning the fight on his favor. So Villese disengages. If it weren't because of the Spearmen over there, Villese would have dominated for sure. Now Viper is finally able to catch up in villager count as well. It's going to be getting ahead as a matter of fact. Worker efficiency is still significantly better for Villese. Let's take a look at resources. Yeah, neck and neck. This is going to be so rough though. Does Viper know? Viper doesn't know about this yet. He realizes about it now. And... oh, the quick walls! That was so slow and very unfortunate for Villese. He's still going to get the walls up over here though, but is this open though? It's not open! Oh man, that was so close. He's gonna be able to get the castle up though, but he's still been taking a few losses. As Viper keeps on sending a few units over here. Yeah. He tried to get a house over there, but it took him so long because I think a villager was stepping on the foundation or something, so he couldn't get the quick walls up originally, but he was able to get the second attempt. And the castle's gonna be coming up for sure. Meanwhile, over here, the Viper keeps on putting pressure up. He's got more units coming in for the Spearmen. Still no pikeman upgrade whatsoever from the Viper. Tavern's Neck doesn't want to get the upgraded units. Yeah, and he can still keep on putting pressure up over here. Another big engagement on the left-hand side. More villages going down as Villese tries to hold on with Knights over here, and the Viper goes after the villagers, ignoring the Knights. He ends up taking a good chunk of villas down, and now Villese is going to be falling behind by 23 villagers. There's a huge villager deficiency for Villese compared to just a few minutes ago. He was ahead. Viper keeps on going for more and more Cavalier. He's producing from 4 stables, while Villese on the other hand is producing from 3 right now, and I'm not really sure if he's even going to be able to sustain production given his very meager food income. For castle on the way for the Viper. He was going to be a lot more aggressive, but he decided to relocate it, yeah. Good job. Overall, it's been a pretty good performance from the Viper. I think he'll most likely end up... let's see. Yeah, I think he'll most likely end up falling behind here. 23? Yeah, now it's gone down to only 21 extra villagers for the Viper. 22. Yeah, second castle coming out for the Viper on the right hand side, so he's putting a lot of pressure. Villese has been struggling to defend himself. Monks have not sufficed, the Knights have not sufficed. There you go. Yeah, and the castles are coming up for sure for the Viper. His economy is so much stronger as he's been completely unscratched for the last 5 minutes or so. He's gonna be the first one to go up to the Imperial Age as well, if he saves the resources. For the time being, he keeps on going for more Cavalier. But he's got 54 food workers compared to only about 40 or so for Villese before he garrisoned the villagers. Overall, you know, gold income as well, significantly stronger for the Viper as well, with close to 40 gold miners, compared to Villese's only 7. Now, Villese's economy is not being the best, though. He has collected a lot of extra resources from the relics, but yeah, he's failed to balance it out. Otherwise, he probably would have been already on his way to the Imperial Age, or he would have been able to go for a lot more units than he's been able to go for so far. Does he not have a market at all? He should be going for the market. It's got the resources for sure. He's floating a lot of gold, man. Meanwhile, Viper, on the other hand, well, by the looks of it, he's gonna be on his way to the Imperial Age very soon. And with 2 castles to work with over here, he should be able to take on Villese's castle with Cherry Shades very soon. Yeah. It's only lacking a little bit of gold. There we go. There's no defense over here for Villese at all. Yeah, Viper might even be able to take the engagement over here. If he does take it, though, he's going to be coming out on top for sure. Take a look at the HP pool of Villese's units. There's nothing for him to fight with over here. There's only 1 conversion coming up. Okay, 2 conversions coming up. We're going to see that's going to suffice, though. We have a hill advantage over here for the Viper as well. And overall HP pool looking a little bit better for Villese. I think it's going to be able to clean this up. That was very clutch, but that's only 1 push he's surviving against, while the Viper is going up to the Imperial Age. And he's getting the 3rd castle up on the left-hand side. He's not letting go of his map control. Very soon we're probably going to see another castle coming up from the Viper. In the next castle, I would probably like for him, if he can take the TC down over here to get the castle either up here, right? So he can secure the gold. Or potentially up here so he can secure, or he can deny the gold at the very least, and he can deny also the stone over here. We'll see. Here comes the Viper. Oh man, castle's not necessary. Viper's just going to take all these stone miners right away. While Villese gets completely clapped over here, he was trying to go for a counter raid, but I did not even get the time to take a look at that because he just got cleaned up. Yeah, I just saw on the minimap 1 blue dot blinking around Viper's base, but it got cleaned up already. So yeah, that's gonna be GG, guys. And Villese goes down for the 3rd time in a row against the Viper after a very strong first game. Villese is on the back foot, and now the Viper is 1 point away from moving on to the semifinals. Well, Jordan said 4-1 in favor of the Viper, right? So far, his prediction seems to be on track. Impressive performance over here. Yes, let's go and take a look at the achievements then. We have for military, a stronger KD for the Viper, a very close to 2-1. Meanwhile, we have for economy a much stronger economy for the Viper. At the end of the game, he did manage to collect about 9,000 extra resources, which is remarkable, despite Villese getting 3 relics. Besides that, we get not much of anything else. The Viper ended up losing 4 villagers this game, meanwhile Villese ended up losing 59 villagers this game. Absolutely disgusting raids from the Viper all game long. Let's go back. And yeah, let's cross civilizations out because Burgundian's working out over here for the Viper versus Franks is going to leave us on Sicilians, Mayans, Vietnamese, and Teutons still for the Viper. Incredible civilizations, while Villese on the other hand has got Vikings, as well as Vietnamese, Incas, and Magyars. Let's see. I'm really sure if the next game is already up here or not. Let's check. Yes, it's here, guys. Game number 5 coming up. And it's going to be a pretty interesting one. The Viper has picked Sicilians, while Villese has picked Incas, actually. So let's choose the outcome over here. What do we get? Viper came out on top over there. We are going to start predictions up for game number 5. There you go. 5 minutes, you guys. Perfect. Sicilians dominate Eagle saves. Well, they can be very strong. Their sergeants, they do get bonus damage against Eagles. However, you know, so do Minotaurs. Well, Sicilians are, you know, the sergeants are going to be a little bit more like their own version of the Eagle as well, because of them being super resilient and tanky against range units. So it's better than the Minotaurs in that regard. It could be good. However, keep in mind that Incas are also super versatile with access to slingers and whatnot. But let's see. Yeah, the game's coming up. Let's jump into it. There we go. And welcome you guys then to game number 5. Match point already. In the series between Villese and TheViper, Villese on the left-hand side is going to be playing with Incas, which means 1 free llama upon starting the game, but then on top of that, also 10 population support per house as opposed to only 5. Besides that, for Incas, we get a 15% stone discount on buildings, as well as for the team. Actually, for the villagers, he's going to be getting the blacksmith upgrades for infantry units started in the castle, which affect villagers as well. For the team bonus, on the other hand, we get, let's see, for Incas, twice as fast seeding farms. Meanwhile, for the Viper, on the other hand, with Sicilians, is going to get, first off, 100 extra stone upon starting the game, as well as access to dungeons as opposed to towers, standard towers. He gets also 100% fast abilities in castle, started in the castle age, as well as 100% extra food on farms per each farm upgrade as opposed to your standard amount. Besides that, we also get for Sicilians 50% less bonus damage on land units except for siege weapons. And then for the team bonus, of course, we're also going to have actually a transport ship bonus. Now, it's not only about the sergeants, of course, but it's also about knights in the castle age. They are going to be so strong. They would not be taking quite as much damage from spears or pikemen. And of course, they are going to be taking basically no bonus damage from eagles either. So yeah, Sicilians can be absolutely disgusting for sure. And what do we get for Incas? Well, Incas are going to be super versatile as an American civilization. As a matter of fact, I think they are the most versatile. Even if it's not the strongest, it's the most versatile in my opinion. They get slingers, which are like castle age hand cannoneer for American civilizations. Only for Incas, of course. We get on top of that Kamayuks, which are fantastic against cavalry units. Although, you know, once again, the bonus damage is not going to apply quite as much against Sicilians. So yeah, I don't think even that's going to be good enough. And yeah, besides that, they get fully upgraded Halberdier, Champion, and Eagles, as well as Arbalesters and Skirmishers as well. So like they do get a lot of everything. But I just do not think they're going to have anything against Sicilians specifically that's going to work well. Maybe just Arbalesters. A good amount of Arbalesters. What do we go for? A meat shield? Inca team bonus will overwhelm Sicilians. Oh yeah. Team bonus. Never forget. Interesting that Villese did not try to get the lane going though. Yeah. Viper's going to get bold elephants over here. I think Villese knew about the elephants himself. Yeah. He just didn't go for it. Or at the very least, he knows about it now, but maybe the elephant was beyond the scouting path of the eagle earlier. Maybe. Let's go and take a look at the map generation for each player. What do we get for Mr. Villese over here? It's gonna have the main goal down south, as well as the secondary goal on the right hand side. The other secondary goals on the left hand side to the south as well. So all 3 goals potentially exposed. The main stones on the left hand side kind of to the side, kind of backish a little bit. And the secondary stone is all the way down southeast. Goes for some walls from here to here, which I think it's what he's gonna go for. Then he's gonna be completely safe over here. And then on the left hand side, it's going to be a little bit trickier. If he went for walls like this, he will be able to secure a lot of surface area and the stone, but he wouldn't really be able to protect any wood lines. So we could potentially see something like this instead, maybe. Yeah, and he wouldn't really be protecting much of anything, so it's not the best map generation for Villese. He doesn't really have a lot of choices. Meanwhile, the Viper, and let's see, the Viper is going to have the hacks enabled for this one. It's got a mingle on the right-hand side, on the back. It's got a secondary goal on the right-hand side and the other secondary goal on the left-hand side. This one, particularly speaking, is kind of on the back as well. Meanwhile, the main stone is forward, in between the hills, and the secondary stone is on the right-hand side, right? But if the Viper goes for some walls from here to the TC, here to the edge of the map as well, and then from here to here in this, it's not going to be very expensive, and he will be able to secure the majority of the resources. As a matter of fact, he doesn't even need to connect the wool lines over here. He can just go for a wall like this. And it wouldn't be too expensive, but he will be able to secure so much. He will be able to secure the gold. He will be able to secure the wood over here, plus the berries, and potentially this gold, depending on whether or not he goes for this, or just straight from this. You know, kind of like this, maybe. We'll see what he goes for. Viper probably thinking his sheep got lame. Well, now they are getting lamed. Every time you say something, Zlotty, you know, it causes a reaction. Every time you say, oh, take a look, no idle TC time, and all of a sudden, by the time the message gets to the stream, like, they have gotten 4 minutes each. Or you say, hey, no eco KDs, and then by the time it gets here, right, somebody's gotten 69 villagers. You're gonna have to start predicting things in favor of Villese to see if that can maybe help us get a full series. Job. Viper's quite clearly gonna be going for archers. Meanwhile, Villese's got militias coming forward. Back home, he's going for, yeah, he's going for gold miners, so it's going to be men at arms and archers. Now he needs to go for the archer range, and he's going for it. Good job. Viper, on the other hand, is going for the archer range right away. And yeah, it seems like it's just going to be straight archers. He's not going to care about militias at all, of course. Yeah, and it's overall a pretty decent position for the Viper still. I wonder if we are going to see at least 2 wins in a row for Villese. Well, he's lost 3 games in a row. In the first 4 games, he ended up losing 3, and now we have nothing but strong civilizations left for both players. Especially for the Viper. I think I'm liking the remaining of the civilizations for the Viper still. And, you know, we have still 3 more games to go through. The Viper needs to win only 1 out of those 3 games, so it'd be remarkable if Villese could come up with 2 victories back to back, but yeah. It's going to require some praying and some candle lighting. Most likely. On top of incredible gameplay, of course. There you go. Like how Viper doesn't lose 5 villages by now, it's amazing. Yeah. Oh god, sorry. Exactly. Oh god, I choked. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Let's get some water. Fletching on the way for Villese. This is pretty good. Eagle Scouts. He's got Men-at-Arms. If we can pair that up with Archers, it's going to be very, very hard for the Viper to counter with a single unit. He would have to go for... Yeah, he would have to try and get the melee units down with Archers before, and then potentially go for skirmishers to counter Archers from Villese. So yeah, Viper I think is just going to keep on going for Archers until he needs to go for something else. For the time being, it's going to suffice. Now, when Villese shows us the Archers over here, Viper's probably going to be thinking of adding 1 or 2 skirmishers into the mix, but still Archers should be the bulk of his army for sure. It's going to be what works against Eagles, it's going to be what works against Men-at-Arms in the Fuel Age. And yeah, it doesn't require any additional investments, for sure. There we go. Now he knows about the Archers, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think he got a glimpse. I think he caught a glimpse of the Archers over there, so I wouldn't be surprised if Viper went for a few skirms. Interestingly enough, though, he's just gonna keep on going for more Archers only. So he's sticking. Yeah, he's sticking to it. It's going for wheelbarrow. I think he's just gonna try to go up to the castle edge and go for crossbows. That's really interesting with Sicilians against an American civilization. By the way, I haven't taken a look at the win rate for the civilization matchup over here. I'm gonna do so in a moment, but need to keep track of these units first, so let's do that. While I check this out. Okay. Viper gets pushed out. So for Incas against Sicilians, we have had only one match. And Incas have actually won against Sicilians. So we'll see if the Viper can turn this around. Ulvaro's here. He's got about half the food to go up to the castle edge. He's got already enough resources, or he's got already enough gold. He sold the stone right now as well, so it seems like he's just going to try to go up to the castle edge as soon as possible. Yeah, it's going to be a play for crosses over here. Meanwhile, Villese, on the other hand, is he going to go for a market? Not yet. Yep. So it's looking significantly better for the Viper over here. And off to the castle edge he goes! So yeah, archers are good, but knights gotta be the play for him in the castle edge, especially if he gets a significant head start to it. As spearmen are not going to be sufficient against knights in a standard setting, imagine against Sicilians over here it's going to be more than insufficient. Then besides that, without access to monks, without access to pikemen, you know, what is Villese going to do? Viper's got already a close to 1 minute head start to it. He's going for bloodlines as well. Yeah, and Sicilians over here for Villese, sorry, and skirmishers over here for Villese against Sicilians not going to be the best choice. It's not going to be doing much of anything. Yeah, that's probably just the reason why Viper's just stuck to archers himself. Like, even though he's not going to be countering the skirmishers on his own, he doesn't need to worry about the bonus damage anyway. Well, regardless. Let's see. Second stable's coming up over here. I'm really sure. Yeah, Villese knows about it already. Yeah, and the moment he sees the Viper get into the castle edge, he's probably gonna start going for extra walls behind the palaces, because palaces over here, especially in individual layers, is not going to suffice for him, of course. It is open, by the way. Oh, Villese, please realize the balance. It's open. It's open. Yeah, it's open by one tile. Viper's getting there in 5 seconds. Meanwhile, Villese is 2 minutes behind the Viper and going up to the castle edge. Here come the knights, guys, as men would say. Dun, 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 dun. And, well, yeah, Villese still has not realized. Now he realizes. Good job. He notices the Viper getting to the castle edge, and well, what is he going to do? Immediately assesses his base to make sure that there are no openings, and just as he walls over here on the right hand side, he's going to leave this open. We'll see if he can realize in time. Hayes Noble, Argentina. Same old crappy as yesterday. Hope everything's going alright for you. Vipers already dominated the KD. Yeah, better than 2-to-1 KD ratio. And now the Knights coming in. They're going to be going right after the wool line, where Villese has overchopped again. But now Villese realized about it, so that's pretty good. Just gotta make sure not to overchop again. But yeah, he's not chopping on any wood lines that would allow for, or any trees rather, that would allow for the Viper to come in. All right, let's take a look at this down south. Just streamed for 3 hours. Nice, Noble. Hope everything went all right. I hope you had a good one. This is close, isn't it? Yeah, this is close. Alright, Castle Edge is here. Villese is going for Eagle Warriors. He's got triple stable production. The Viper's got double stable, but he's not producing from both. Just going for one stable at a time. Instead, he's got the second TC up, and he's gonna try to focus on Eco instead. I'm not really sure how well this is going to work against Incas. I'm pretty sure if you're getting a head start to the Castle Edge, you probably just want to go for freaking Knights if you're in Viper's position, because playing for economy against Eagle Warriors is just going to be a risky endeavor. Felt like I could have gone forever. Super Mario speedruns, since shady people came in and offered services. Oh yeah, well, you don't have to worry, but it's probably just bots. They are... yeah, they're bursting right now on Twitch. You know, let me tell you a little story. For those of you who were not around the stream for too long, last year actually I had a viewer buy. Actually, I didn't have them do it, but somebody thought it was going to be a good idea to buy followers, or actually viewers for the channels, not followers. Sorry. So for like a good 2 weeks or something, I think the channel was like averaging 100 or so viewers, and it was so embarrassing, man, because I couldn't stop it. Somebody went actually out and they paid for it. I think they thought they were going to help the channel, and that's where the bots meme came as well. That's why we have the beep bop, the beep boop emote over here, because of the bot period for the channel. Yeah, it's usually not worth it though. Humans this time? Oh, is that so? Okay, I haven't had that happen before in my stream anyway. Let's see. Net's going back for the Viper, and the 30 TC is already up. Meanwhile, Villese is going to be second to 1 TC for legal production, by the looks of it. We have Monks coming out as well. He's going for Sanctity 2. Here come the conversions. Good job. Yep. And Viper's just going to delete these. There we go. Extra TC is coming out right now for Villese. Yeah, and I don't think it's gonna be able to catch up in villager count, but if he can keep on putting pressure up over here, if he can keep on raiding around with the Eagles, he might be able to idle Viper's economy for long enough to start getting a hit. Okay, conversion coming up. He's getting it. Well played. The Monk's going down for sure, but yeah, all the Eagles coming back over here. Viper doesn't really have a whole lot of military anymore. We have almost a 3-to-1 military ratio in favor of Villese. But the Viper seems to just be playing for potential First Crusade. For the time being, he's got only 3 TCs, but he's got already enough stone to go for additional TCs, and very soon he's gonna have enough stone to go for a castle. So if the Viper gets enough for a castle, in my opinion, he should be going for the castle over here so he can protect the gold and the stone. If he gets the castle up over here, then he can potentially go for a TC around this area, right? And then he can potentially go for a TC elsewhere, like there's a secondary goal over here he could potentially try to collect or secure. And that would allow him to go for First Crusade and already get a 35 military boost. It's going to require to survive though for the time being. You can see that after noticing how many Eagles we have for Villese over here, he's significantly ramped up stone collection. So he can get the stone, for the castle as soon as possible, but yeah. The Viper in tournaments is the epitome of greed, and it hurts. Viper's greed is speaking. Yeah. There you go. Like cavalry. Yeah, not going to work though. So yeah, this is what I wanted to see from Villese, full pressure. Just try and keep the Viper busy. Just try to keep the Viper idle over here. It does not matter if the Viper has 20 extra villagers, if he's got 30 villagers idle, you know. Oh, but it's open and he's coming in on the Viper. I thought that Villese was gonna be able to defend over here just fine, but now all the knights coming over here. There is 0 defense for Villese. It's got only 1 monk and so many knights coming in for the Viper, so yeah, Viper's taking a lot of losses over here for villages as well, but now he's gonna be able to get right back to Villese with villages going down over here as well. He's got knights down south, he's got knights up north over here as well as in the middle. It's gonna be adding a lot of Villese's economy, and take a look! The villager count right now for Villese is going to crumble so bad with the monk going down. I'm not really sure if he was even able to get a conversion at all, but yeah! That's a lot of eco damage over here from the Viper, and there is not enough space over here for Villese the garrison, so he's going to end up going even lower in villager count. And all of this, while the Viper was able to get the castle up, back home, clean up the Eagles from Villese, and yeah, keeps on taking villagers down as well. The one hole is going to be responsible for Villese. Call the GG, and the Viper moving on to the semi-final already. Good job. A final score of 4-1 for the Viper. Nail on prediction. for Jordan. And what a turn of events over here. Viper ends up taking this one, and just the last minute, everything changed. What an amazing series. Wow. Let's go and take a look at the achievements then for the final game before hopping back out. Guys, that KD for the Viper is amazing, especially with how many villagers he was able to get from the Viper. Good job. Economy, on the other hand, we get a much stronger economy for the Viper, collecting about 2,000 extra resources. Technology, well, much faster castle age time for him as well. And even though the early pressure did not really achieve too much for the Viper, he was still able to take advantage of the Knights at the end of the game. So well played, well played. Take a look at the villager deaths over here. 15 villagers down for Villese, only 4 for the Viper. Well, guys, it's going to be it for this series then. The Viper moves on to the semifinals.